Eddie Razor, what's up, man? Thanks for replying to my comment on the video about Masvidal and Covington. Look, man, I would agree with you if I never saw footage of Colby telling the cops when he was surrounded by cops after getting beat up that he saw Jorge swinging at him, so he ran from Jorge. That's what he said in the video, right? That's the issue. So the thing is, after they had their fight, Jorge got his butt kicked. Colby rubbed it in after the fight, no big deal. But he also said some other stuff after the fight, even weeks after the fight, a week after the fight. He said Jorge needed to leave Miami because he was going to beat him up if he saw him in person. He said he would fight him again in the parking lot. He said this and that after the fight. And post-fight press conferences and other podcasts. Check out my YouTube channel. I have shorts. I have proof of Colby saying that stuff. Okay? So my question is if somebody's walking up to you and they're swinging at you, you run from them. That means you saw them, right? You knew they were coming, okay? That means Colby is lying, or whoever is saying that is lying about saying Jorge snuck up from the left side or whatever it was that they tried to say and sucker punched Colby. That's a lie. That means Colby came out the restaurant. He saw Jorge coming at him, and they argued. Somebody else said that they argued. So that means he was fully aware of what Jorge was going to do to him. So, yeah, that's a lie. You know, what I want to know is why didn't Colby back up what he was saying? You know, look, I get it. If Colby had beat him up and rubbed it in a little bit after the fight, because again, it's a rivalry, right? And left it at that, Jorge would look like a sucker for what he did last night. I agree, if that's the case. But that ain't what happened. Colby still ran his mouth and threatened him to fight him and stuff, and was still talking about his family. Colby was still doing those things. So in my opinion, Jorge had a right to defend himself. Because if Jorge needs to be charged with something, Colby needs to be charged with something too for making threats about him and running his mouth after the fight. Okay? Look, I don't know what the argument is here. You know, I talk about MMA all the time on my channel. I made a lot of predictions on the fight, including that fight, and I was wrong. But I did say if Jorge didn't knock him out, he would get beaten that fight, which he did. I'm usually right about my predictions. You should check out my channel sometime, man. I just don't know why you would try to argue something where there's really nothing to back it up for you. You know, I really wish somebody would have filmed that fight. If people are saying it was a fight, that means Colby tried to hit him back. Or worse, Colby was running his mouth and enticed him to come forward. So I don't really see why Jorge should be in trouble. If he is, and Colby should be too, because he was, like I said, he made threats about Jorge after the fight when the fight was finished. You know, again, if Colby had left it alone at that after beating him, which he did beat him deservedly, there's no excuse on Jorge's fault, on Jorge's part. Being a top 10 guy, you should fight better than that in an MMA fight. I agree. But Colby should have just left it at that. That way, if Jorge tried to fight him in the street again or did anything after the real fight in MMA, then he's in the wrong. And I'll say, hey, Jorge, you had your chance, man, but he invited it. You don't believe me? Check out my shorts. It's in my film. As for you, I don't know why you say anything, man. I've seen your channel. You ain't got but 3 or 4 subscribers. I got over 300. It's still not very much for